Because there's a god somewhere that it needs celebrated filmmakers bashing on Marvel movies to please them instead of living sacrifices, Quentin Tarantino has come out with a statement poo-pooing Marvel. This is the thing that happens every few months. It's just a thing, but you know what? It's here. It's a hot topic, so why not talk about it? Yeah, so let's get to the statements made by Quentin Tarantino. Okay, first up. Part of the Marvelization of Hollywood is you have all these actors who have become famous playing these characters. But they're not movie stars, right? Captain America is the star. Or Thor is the star. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that. I think that's been said a zillion times. But it's like, you know, it's these franchise characters that become a star. I'm not even putting them down, frankly, to tell you the truth. The director said earlier about movie stars no longer existing in bulk. But that is one of the legacy of the Marvelization of Hollywood movies. That's just true. People be getting kind of butthurt about this. That's just true. Just look at Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. plays Iron Man. Movie, much success. Robert Downey Jr. no play Iron Man in movie. Nobody go watch movie. I talk good. Yeah, like he put out The Judge, bombed. Doolittle, bombed. You know, Chris Hemsworth, when he goes out and tries other movies, they're not nearly as successful as the Thor movies. I mean, same goes with all of these guys. It's just a thing. Like they are not the sole driving force that propels these movies to success. Now, I'm not saying that they don't play any part of it. Like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is what people want to see. Like I do think that there would be a dip in positive reception if you got some other guy playing Iron Man, because people like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. So that's not to, like Quentin Tarantino says, that's not to put them down, because I do think they are a valuable part of the equation. But yeah, the movie star is dead, right? Like Will Smith at one point could open a movie just by him being in it. It's like $50 million in its opening weekend. That's not the case anymore. I mean, just look at Black Adam versus Wakanda Forever, right? The Rock is really the one guy that you can kind of argue is a movie star in today's day and age. Wakanda Forever made more than Black Adam's entire theatrical run in its opening weekend. None of the stars in Wakanda Forever are nearly as big as The Rock. I mean, yeah, Quentin Tarantino speaking facts with that one. Okay, moving on. Look, I used to collect Marvel comics like crazy when I was a kid. There's an aspect that if these movies were coming out when I was in my 20s, I would totally be fucking happy and totally love them. I mean, they wouldn't be the only movies being made. They would be those movies amongst other movies. But, you know, I'm almost 60, so yeah, no, I'm not quite as excited about them. Yeah, that bit is totally fine. No, I forgot to let you read the thing. I forgot to show it. I forgot to switch to the other scene. I'm stupid. But yeah, no, that bit here, I have no problem with that. Like, I do think that that's important to stress, that whenever I talk about this issue, I don't care if somebody doesn't like Marvel movies, because that is like the inevitable straw man that gets thrown out, is like, oh, you're just butthurt because somebody criticized Marvel. No, yeah, like if Quentin Tarantino just doesn't really like Marvel movies, I really don't care. So yeah, let's get into the next bit. My only axe to grind against them is they're the only things that seem to be made. And they're the only things that seem to generate any kind of excitement amongst a fan base, or even for the studio making them. That's what they're excited about. And so it's just the fact that they are the entire representation of this era of movies right now. There's not really much room for anything else. That's my problem. And that's stupid. Okay, can we all just do an experiment here? Can we all just have a little bit of an experimentation for science? Grab your phone. I was gonna pull it up closer to the camera, but it's charging, so I'm not gonna do that actually. Grab your phone. Download your local movie theater app. And just look at the movies that are on there. this is my experience. This is my anecdotal experience in my area. Maybe it's different in other places. Okay, I'll even be charitable. I'll loop in DC, right? He says Marvel. I'll loop in DC. Playing in my local movie theater, I have Black Adam, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So two comic book movies. Then I have Bones and All. You know, an interesting looking non-comic book related movie. I think it's about cannibals or something. The Chosen. Religious based thing. It's not a movie. It's like the first 2 episodes of a season of television. So not a movie, but still, it's pretty interesting, right? A religious thing. Devotion. Not a comic book movie. It's about like fighter pilots. A pair of U.S. Navy fighter pilots risk their lives during the Korean War. You know, whatever. Historical drama. There you go. Look at that. Like Top Gun. They fly planes in this one too. Go watch it. I got Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Not a comic book movie. Lyle Lyle Crocodile. Not a comic book movie. Like a family affair. I got an animated crocodile. What more do you want? The Menu. Not a comic book movie. I think it's also about cannibals, if I recall correctly, hearing that it's also about cannibals. She Said. Not a comic book movie. Actually kind of an important movie. It's about the whole Harvey Weinstein situation. Smile. Not a comic book movie. A little horror movie. Spirited. Not a comic book movie. Christmas movie. Strange World. Disney, but not a comic book movie. It's a original animated movie. Ticket to Paradise. Not a comic book movie. It's a comedy. There are like 14 movies playing at my local movie theater. 2 of them are comic book movies. Actually, what are you talking about? And it's not just Quentin Tarantino. I hear this all the time when people say, like, Hollywood only makes Marvel movies, or Hollywood only makes comic book movies, or even to be a bit broader, Hollywood doesn't make anything original anymore. It's all just remakes, reboots, and sequels, blah. It's like, bruv. Go to the website and look at the movies playing in your local movie theater. What are you talking about? They're there. Go watch them. This is like if someone was in a food court and they're like complaining that the only restaurant at this food court is Panda Express. When you got a Quiznos over there, you got a Burger King over here, you got a Mexican restaurant over here, you got an Auntie Jemima, whatever the pretzel place is over there. You got a whole bunch of different restaurants around. And this guy's just like, why is there only a Panda Express? This mall only offers Panda Express these days. Why don't they have anything? It's like, bro, you got the Quiznos right there. It's there. Go eat at the Quiznos. This genuinely perplexes me. I don't understand. I don't understand how anybody with a straight face can act like we live in some kind of dystopia where only Marvel movies exist, or like what are you talking about? Like, am I crazy? Am I actually going insane? Am I fundamentally misunderstanding the argument here? Although actually, Quentin Tarantino, he brings up the root issue here. The root issue. Let me pull this up again. When he says, and they're the only things that seem to generate any kind of excitement amongst a fan base. That's true. That is true. And that is really the root issue of the film industry right now. Because it is true that really Marvel comic book movies at this point are really the only like guaranteed successes in Hollywood. And not even, because Black Adam hasn't been doing very well. And you got your sequels like Top Gun Maverick, right? And like nostalgia. He's not wrong that those are really the only guaranteed successes. But I guess what annoys me the most here, what annoys me the most, and this isn't with Quentin Tarantino to be fair, because he actually brings up the fact that it's about the fan base. It's all of these virtue signaling people out there that are always acting like, oh, big bad corporations like Disney, they're ruining cinema, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, you. This is on you. At the end of the day, you have the responsibility to make a movie a success or not. It is up to you to do that. Studios, they just make the movies. And guess what? They're still making original movies. They're out there. You can go out and watch them if you actually cared about any of this. You can do that. So it annoys me when I see this virtue signaling. Because it's your fault. It is the consumer's fault. And that's not a popular thing to say. You know, it's the same thing in like the video game industry. Like, it is baffling when you look at like AAA video games that launch and they just straight up don't work. And they're buggy. They're clearly unfinished. But you know what? Why would they put the work in to polish those games when you still bought the new Pokemon games? You bought Cyberpunk 2077. You bought Overwatch 2. You only go watch Marvel movies. You didn't go see The Menu. You didn't go see The Northman. You didn't go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. It is on you. You are the ones that are making Marvel movies successes. You are the ones. I'm sorry. But it's you. You're doing this. And people will like bring up like, oh no, Disney, they strong arm movie theaters to only show Marvel movies on their screens or whatever, blah 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 blah. And you know what? I can concede that. Yeah, they do some shady stuff like that. I'm not gonna sit here and defend everything that Disney does. Yeah, that's shady. But guess what? Even if they do that for their bigger movies, their bigger movies aren't always having an opening weekend every weekend. There are periods of time where there isn't a big Disney movie coming out. And guess what? Nobody's going to watch the other movies. So you can't put all the blame on that. It is on you. You. So, I don't know. I've been ranting and raving. Let me know what you think about this situation. Am I crazy? Am I the crazy one that just like completely rejects this notion that there aren't like original movies or non-Marvel movies out? Like there's plenty of them out there. You can go watch them. Let me know what your thoughts are on this whole situation in the comments down below. I think it's pretty ridiculous, but you know, hey, maybe I'm off base here, maybe I'm off kilter, maybe I'm capping. Tell me if I'm capping in the comments down below. Also, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified whenever I upload. Goodbye!